This is episode 39, and today I am joined by Ann-Marie McGlynn. Ann-Marie, you're very welcome on the podcast and delighted to have an opportunity to speak with you.
Thanks for having me, Mickey. I'm looking forward to it.
Ann-Marie, you've had an amazing year in 2024. I'm so excited about chatting about the significance of 2024, but I want to begin to try and understand how Ann-Marie became one of the most successful athletes in the land, particularly last year with your phenomenal achievements. Where did it all start for you?
I suppose like every young child, primary school, we done sports. There was always a cross country race once a year, and it was an easy way to get out for a half a day. So I did that, and bear in mind I went to school in Offaly, so we're down south. So I think I was about probably 8, 9, 10 doing those. Not great, holding up the back at the race, and then just I kind of was that kind of person. The more I trained, the better I got. I wouldn't say I have a huge talent. Yes, I have a talent, I'm talented, but I have to work hard to get my results. You have some people that, like Trevor, he's just one of these people that can do anything and is pretty good at everything. And the same with my wee boy Alfie. I have to work at something, but then once I get there, I'm there. And I think I was kind of like that in primary school, where I just seemed to get better and better and better. And my principal was like, right, why don't you join an athletic club? And I was like, oh God. So he spoke to my parents, and I did. I joined the local one in the village, and then I just got probably fitter, and I'm just running 2-3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the usual staple club training. And then we moved then to Tullamore Harriers, because my club coach in my old club, Claudia Valley, moved to Tullamore Harriers, which is, we all know, is the track in the Midlands, and it's a big club. And I went there and I trained with the boys more than I did with the girls, just because they were going harder. And I just kept going from there. I suppose I was about 11, 12 then, and then you're going into secondary school, and it just stayed that I was the runner then, and I ran for the school, and I kind of haven't looked back since.
Am I right in thinking that you picked up your first medal around 13 years of age? Is that right, across country?
Yeah, so I was 13 under 14 when I won my first All-Ireland cross country, and then obviously into 2024 I was 44, and I repeated then a senior, my first senior gold. Under 14. So it's crazy. It's crazy to think that's 30 years.
It's actually pretty cool though, because I never clicked onto that. I've got all these stats in front of me and the timeline done, and you and I have been communicating, and we've been trying to suss out a format. But to think that your first All-Ireland was at under 14, and then your most recent one, it's all full circle. It's come back to where it started, which is class.
Yeah, and I suppose what's nice is when you win a cross country race, whether it be county, provincial or national, the buzz you get from winning a cross country race is, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. It's just hard graft. It's tough. It's winter. It's just everything's thrown at you, and if you come out there on top, well, you can't feel nothing but proud. And it's one of those events that, I would say to anyone that's doing athletics, give it a go at least once, because there's nothing like it.
I wouldn't classify myself as an athlete with regards to running. I do know that the local club would do cross-country work, but I used to love doing those mud runs, just going out and getting, I used to call it bogging jogging. just running through stuff and running through puddles.
There's just something raw about it, There's just obstacles that you don't have on a good road, long road in front of you. It's muck, it's hills, it's uneven terrain, it's long grass, it could be cow dung. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it's just lovely. It's great. It's great when you're fit.
You were predominantly a track athlete in the early days. Would that be fair to say? You were sort of
Yeah.
800 meters, 1500 meters from around
Yes.
1999. Is that
So like
accurate?
in schools, like you only went up to 3,000 meters, so that's where I stayed. And then I got scholarship to University College Dublin, and as a track athlete slash cross country, so I was track and cross country. Road never came into it until I was a bit older, because like you're not going, even now, like you don't put your kid on the road unless it's a wee park run or something. But yeah, so it was track. I did European under 23, 1500 meters in Amsterdam. Was my biggest track race as a juvenile, as a junior, and then as a senior. Then yeah, I did do European teams as a 3K as well. But yeah, predominantly track, underage, as right up to a junior, but then and cross country. But then I did start slotting into the road. Yeah.
So the roads seem to have come along around 2012. I noticed that you're starting to go and you're picking up on some of the local races, some of the 5K races. Um, then in 2013, we see you moving up into 10K races. And we can see that you're starting to build at this point.
Yeah.
You're starting to push the limits and pushing your distances. Um, and then if we keep things local to Omagh, was it your first time doing Omagh half marathon in 2013? Would that be right? Did that sound right?
Yeah, yeah. So when I moved up here, um, Trevor forgot to tell me they didn't have a park, which meant no grass. They didn't have a track, which meant I had to run on the road. I never ran on the road until I moved to Strabane. It was always grass and track. So yeah, I had no choice other than move to the road. And then I was like, well, I'm doing a lot of my training on the road now. Maybe I'll dabble in a bit of 5K, 10K. And that's exactly what I did. Yeah, and I did the Omagh half. I, yeah, and I didn't realize how actually hard that course was. But yeah, I did that. I think I just break 80 minutes, or I just missed it, or
Yep,
that my
yep.
first one or something. I think, yeah, because I remember thinking 6 minute mile, and I don't think I can. I think I aimed that day to run 80 minutes, and I just about did it, but it was the hardest 80 minutes of my life. Um, yeah. So yeah, Omagh half. That's right, 2013 ish.
2013 also seen you do some of the other local runs are at Strabane. You did Derry, your Lifford, you did your 10K down in Dublin. Um, and another standout is your European cross country.
Yeah. So I suppose whenever I was in Dublin, right up to when I was like 25, we or 24, we moved to Strabane. I took time out just to live life a bit and have my family, or get married, have my family, get the house, get the mortgage, do all the grown up things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I suppose then I changed then to Teresa McDade as my coach, hence why I moved to Letterkenny Athletic Club. When I decided to come back after 6-7 years out, I decided I'll I'll get a coach up here. And yeah, I was happy to start doing, training properly, giving it 100%, because I'm kind of all or nothing. And I stopped because I probably wasn't giving it everything, and I wasn't going to get the results. I'm not stupid. If you don't put the work in, you're not going to get the results. So that's why I initially did kind of stop, because I knew I had a plan of getting my ducks in a row, and that's what I wanted to aim at. So got all my ducks in a row, and I came back, joined Letterkenny, and got coached by Teresa McDade. And yeah, I suppose that's when I moved up the distances. And I remember meeting Teresa and telling her that I wanted to make the European cross country senior team, and she was like, God, Ann-Marie, that's and in 2013, like literally next year, and she was like, right, okay, and I did. It was at altitude. I remember the course was at altitude, and I went to Font Romeu, and the kids, Lexi was 2, Alfie was only Lexi was 2.5, Alfie was probably 6 months, and I went to Font Romeu for 3 weeks with Athletics Ireland. and trained at altitude and said, I'm making that team. Went to nationals, made the team, and went to altitude to run the European cross. So just look, I'm wild for writing down goals and chasing them, and that's just what I did for
Brilliant.
that one thing. Yeah.
And that's an amazing thing to be able to do. It's something that I try to do as well. Pick your events ahead and then work towards them, and keep chipping away, as the man says.
Yeah.
You weren't satisfied with just doing the Euro cross country in 2013, because 2014 saw you going out as a captain.
Yeah.
Talk us about that. That was a special memory.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like that was a shock to be named the captain, and I suppose for some people it would put pressure on them, but for me, I was just like, look, I chat to I chat to everybody anyway. I would chat to the walls, like, so for me, it was like, the captaincy is like you're open, you're there. Then if anybody has, wants to chat, or it's quite overwhelming when you're going away with an Irish vest on your back. You're running now for the nation. You're running. Everybody's watching you. There's nowhere to hide. It's televised. It's all over social media, which is huge now. So yeah, I was there I suppose the captaincy was a lovely title to get, but at the same time, I had to go out there and do myself justice and do my club, my family, Ireland. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't let it overwhelm me as a person. And I knew that day I knew that weekend we had a chance of a medal. And again, I wrote it down, bronze medal. And I'll be the fourth scorer. And it was the bronze medal and I was the fourth scorer. And I was the fifth scorer with about into the last mile, and we were a point behind. And I was like, unfortunately, I need to catch the next Irish girl, because then that'll put us in fourth position or third position. And that's what I did. I passed out Siobhan O'Doherty in the last 600 metres, put us into third position, and put myself as the fourth scorer, which there's four to count. And yeah, again, I suppose that's another thing I did. I wrote it down, and I knew the girls, we had a chance of looking at the numbers going in. I was like, we have a chance of getting a medal here. And they were like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And we did. And it's mad looking back, like, but yeah, I kind of called it. I called it before it happened.
And it's not really just a case for you, Anne-Marie, just to go out like many other people would, just go out and run like hell.
Mm.
You have an athletic brain where you're able to
Yeah.
try and suss out what needs to be done, at what point it needs to be done, where do
Yeah.
I need to move, where do I need to make the move, and writing it down and planning it out helps you to visualize it, I suppose, and then make it happen.
Yeah, and it's why I'm still running, because I train smart. I train on heart rate, always did. Um, I'll not, I don't go looking for, like, say, for instance, tomorrow it's going to be snowing, and I said to you, oh, I'm dreading it. If I have to push my session out till the midday, I will. And I won't go chasing for the numbers that's wrote down from my coach. I'll go by effort. Like, I know I can read my body, and I can read a race, and but that comes with experience. It comes with doing it since I was 11. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like I'm this you know magician or anything, or wizard. I'm actually, just because I'm doing it a long time, it comes a bit easier to me. And I just love setting goals, and I love to manifest and see things, and see me there. And then when it happens, it's like I've been here in my mind. So
Yeah.
pretty much that's it. Like, yeah, it's just experience, I think, and reading my body. Yeah.
It's kind of second nature to you. It's just so natural.
Yeah.
When you're good to go, and if you're struggling, if you're carrying something, if there's a wee niggle, you'll know not to maybe push it
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Knowing that, being smart about it on that Tuesday will allow you to hit the target that you have penciled in for the Friday, for example, rather
Yeah.
than
Well, like, I'm
risking
not
it.
stupid enough to think, like, run a pace in training that I can't race at. You know what I mean? You have to run a bit quicker in certain reps to allow yourself to progress. But there's a very fine line in feeding the beast, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, run smart, not stupid. That's my motto in everything, in training and in races. Like, I will roll the dice. Don't get me wrong. I'll roll the dice in a race, and I'll give myself every chance. But I'll not be stupid at the same time. I'll not be up at the front thinking, oh, I'm going to win this. No, Anne-Marie, get back. Like, get back to where you know you should be and hold your own, and the rest looks after itself. So that's what I would say, like, just run smart, just not stupid.
No, that's sound advice. And you'd be a queer fool to argue with you. In fairness,
Yeah, yeah,
with
well,
your CV,
it works.
it certainly does. Absolutely. So let's jump forward in time from 2014. Obviously, you didn't hang up the trainers between 2014 and 2020, but quite frankly, there's that many races and medals and podiums that would be here all day. So let's bring it up to 2020, because again, 2020 saw you perform at the World Half Marathon Championships in Poland.
Yes.
Um, Talk me through that event.
Yeah, it was actually surreal, to be honest. Like, and I've a reel on my phone that I go back to, that I've saved in my archives, and I go back to every now and again. And actually, I only watched it there during the week, and it's us all running out of the call room with a mask on our face. You had to wear a mask in the whole time, not the race, but you had to wear it in warm up, in the call room, and out onto the course. And for the first 400 meters, you had to wear it. On your mark, set, go. And everyone's running with this mask on. And then you have to take it off and fire it in a bin and make the bin. Like, they're like, get them in the bin. And you're like, I'm running 5:20 pace. Like, but anyway,
Yeah,
it was just mad to think, like, and it was the only event that Athletics Ireland sent an Irish team to that year. That was the only international event. And I trained hard for it. Like, as an elite athlete, I was allowed to train twice a day, so that was good. I was allowed to go outside the 10-mile radius, so that was good. So I was able to go to train with my coach. And I was able to have a small bubble just being an elite athlete, so that helped. So I trained just like a full-time athlete, to be honest. It was great. And yeah, I went into that race, and the aim was to try and run 71:30, and I ran 71:40, and I ran it the hard way. Probably, it took off so hard, and we were like, I don't know, deers in the headlights, because everyone was like, oh God, this is the only race we're going to get. And I think everyone got a bit excited, and there was a lot of blow ups at the front, put it that way. So, but I hung on, and I still ran very close to what I wanted. I ran a Northern Ireland record and a PB, which is still my PB to this day. Like, I think I'll struggle to get anywhere close to it. Like, I was running out my skin then, and that was just 2020. I just trained. Yeah, I just trained the same. I kept everything the same. But I was lucky in that I had a bit more leeway. So yeah,
would
that was
there
2020.
would there have been any significant support or spectators at that event then, with it being
No,
COVID?
no, no. It was literally, yeah, it was literally, and we had to sit at a table, put on gloves, go up to get your food, change your gloves, put on clean gloves. It was just, man, it was, looking back, it was ridiculous, like, what we
It was
did. But
bonkers.
you'll go anywhere if they tell you can race, you'll be like, okay, that's grand. And then Cheshire was the same. Was that 2021?
Yeah,
We were still kind of in COVID, and yeah, that was no spectators. That was like a 6-mile loop. Um, yeah, so like, COVID was crazy, but you know what? I ran my fastest ever half, and I ran my fastest ever marathon. So for me, it holds like huge memories. I'm lucky. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm just wondering whether or not the presence of a crowd and an atmosphere coming into the last mile or so, the last couple of K in the marathon, whenever you were pushing, I wonder, would
Yeah.
you have taken the extra 10 seconds? Would it have given you that wee booster? Just
God,
curious.
yes,
Probably
God
not.
knows. Like, to be honest, it was one of those races that I was running so well within myself. Like, it was just, you know what? It was unfortunate. I'm never one for like excuses, and I don't air them, but it was just time of the month for me, hit right on the day, and it was just stomach cramps. I had to step to the side for about 20 seconds, go to the toilet, jump back in, and I missed the marathon, the standard, by 10. So look, do the maths. If that hadn't happened, I was on that plane. But these are the things that unfortunately us women have to deal with, and it is what it is. It wasn't for me. So I wasn't meant to be in Tokyo. And that's okay.
And that was for the Olympics, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that 10
Um.
seconds, that toilet stop just will haunt me for life.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of those things that just couldn't be avoided.
It
Unfortunately,
is
just
what it is,
horrendous
and
timing.
I'm very good at like a huge advocate for women's menstrual cycle and the reds now. That's huge now. You know, there's too many not not like really looking after that side of things, and they think, you know, skinny is fast, and what comes with that is a lot of problems. And you know, I celebrate my monthly. That's, I celebrate it because it means my body is healthy, and in
Hmm.
the long term I will keep being able to run, and that's hence why I'm still running, you know. So I that's why I'm not, I wouldn't ever say, oh, because I know that's what the downfall was that day in Cheshire. And but at the same time I applaud it, because I'm just glad I was healthy enough to be able to get my menstrual cycle. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's a very positive way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And it is something that maybe is worth. I'm assuming that you've taken that forward. Or what's your thoughts on normalizing that and talking about that, or opening up those types of things for women that find themselves in that position?
I think for young girls and teenagers and stuff, it's the coaches. Really, it should be on the coaches, and just talking, pretty much being, you know, honest with their coach. Like, and any athletes I take on, and if they're a female, that's the first thing I'll ask is, what's your menstrual cycle like?
Yeah.
Is it like clockwork? Because that's what I want to tick a box, you know. So I think it's just talking about it with younger kids, and having them being aware that it's important to take your period. Like, at the end of the
Mm.
day, like I said, I wanted to stop and have my kids and have all my ducks in a row. If I wasn't getting my period from a teenager up to when I was 25, I wouldn't have been getting pregnant as easy as I did. So this is why I say, you know, you have to look at the bigger picture. You know, running's just a hobby at the end of the day for a lot of us, as is it is for me. I don't make huge money out of running, you know, it's a hobby. So I just say it's really coaches, you know, and a male coach has to be able to talk about it as well. Like, I have a male coach now, and he knows exactly my cycle, and there's some months that I feel great, and there's some months I am like flogging a dead horse, and I'm like, not, can't do that today, like I need to pull things back, and we do that. So it's just being able to talk about it, I think. And if there's any younger girls listening, just, you know, if you're having problems, reach out to
Hmm.
even a parent, your mum or a sister or your female coach or a running another athlete or somebody, because it's very important. It is very important, and you can do all the training, but if you don't do all those little things and have all those in a good place, it comes back to bite you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a worthwhile conversation in the sense that, you know, it's a natural thing. It's unavoidable, largely speaking, and therefore should be taken into consideration. You know,
Yeah, and years
it's
ago
only
it wouldn't
natural.
have been, talked about years ago, you know, but you have to now. It's huge everywhere. Look, read about all these stress fractures now with all these elite athletes, and it comes back to the menstrual cycle, you know. So it's your
Hmm.
bone density, it's osteoporosis, or yeah, what is it? Weak bones and all that, like, and it's all comes from your menstrual cycle, unfortunately. So it's just staying on top of it, you know. And that's exactly why I'm still running, I think, like as healthy and strong as I was 10 years ago.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And solid advice. And hopefully the younger female athletes and anybody that's worried about talking about that might help them just to pluck up that.
Yeah, there's so much information online as well, like, you know. So the information is there, just go and research it. Yeah.
Super stuff. Super stuff. Um, Moving on then from 2021. Well, I wanted just to very quickly ask you about Antrim Half. The Antrim Half Marathon that you did in 2021, was that the first time that you'd done that one? And is that the one that
Yeah.
runs out by the sea and comes back?
Yeah, on the coast, yeah. So I had been out with an injury. I think it was my Achilles or like calf or something. And like literally, it was my first one back. And oh my God, it's mad, because you know, you just look at it, you're looking at it thinking, oh yeah, did I run like 73 something, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
73:13. Yeah.
I had to work for that. Like, that was a day, that was a tough day at the office. and it was just like my fitness wasn't where it needed to be. But I'm very good at towing the line, regardless of. I don't just toe the line when I'm peaking. I'll toe the line even when I know I'm going to get scalped, because scalped as in by other Irish girls, because there's always someone coming to get you, to beat you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so
Yeah.
I remember going there that day thinking I'm not fit enough to be up where I want to be, but I need to go there, get it done, and it'll push me on. And that's exactly what I did. So there was no real meaning in doing it other than giving me an extra spike to my training afterwards. And yeah, so that's the story behind that. But yeah, it's a good course. If on a windy day it's tough, and it's usually windy. But James McElroy, he's the director of it, and James is lovely, and I know James for years, as does Trevor. So I like to support, people that I know that's running big races like that. It's nice to go and show your support. So
Absolutely, and it's an absolutely stunning course. I've done it
yeah,
myself in the past, and it's a lovely route. But I suppose, as you say, on a bad day, it would be it
yeah,
could
but it's no
bite you.
different. It's no
Yeah,
different than Oma. Oma get huge numbers, and it's not a fast course, but it's just a lovely course, and it's just
aye,
the support and the friendliness and just everything about it. That's what attracts people to a course. Like, so they don't always have to be fast and flat. And anyway, 9 times out of 10, when they advertise a fast flat course, it's not.
yeah.
It's not.
They'll have just got that wee elevation graph, and they will have
Yeah.
stretched it as far as they
Yes.
can to
No.
make it look
Yeah.
flat.
I'm around too long for that. I'll go and look at elsewhere and get the right elevation map. But look,
Yeah.
it's a great course. Yeah.
Um, 2022, you're back on cross country duty. You're at the championships in Italy.
Yes. So I suppose I went to Dublin that year. So Dublin Marathon. So I won 24, 23. I was beat again in 22. Obviously I was going there to win Dublin Marathon, and Courtney ran out of her skin and yeah, ran away from me, I think about 21 mile, and I was like, oh, and just hung on for a second again. Um, and then I came off that second, I think around 2:33 maybe, or 2:34, something like that. And I just decided I'll go and do the national cross country, because was it in Donegal? The national cross was in Donegal, and I was like, it's just up the road. I'll run for Letterkenny. We'll try and win the team event, get us to the European clubs. And that's exactly what I done. And I just ran so well, and I made the team to Italy. Now, it wasn't in the plan, as it wasn't just in Turkey Pass, but it wasn't in the plan. And I just ran strong, because it was, again, one of those courses that was just pure cross country.
Mm-hmm.
Northwest of Ireland, hills, muck, long grass, like terrain, uneven. And I think I was fifth. Was I fifth at nationals, and then got me onto the team in Italy? Yeah. So, um, look, that's the thing with athletics for me anyway. Nothing's set in stone. I'll pick out certain races, and then something might come of that race, and that's where Italy came of that race. And it wasn't probably in the plan, but yeah. So I got another Irish Fest off that.
You also took part then in a European 10K race in France in the same year,
Yeah,
2022.
yeah, and that's lovely. Like, I do love to mix it up. I think you had to run a qualifying of, like, I don't know, 33:15 or sub 33:15. No, on the road you had to run, yeah, 33:15 or something like that, to get there. And yeah, I made that team in Passé, France. That was lovely. There's something nice about an Irish Fest for track, and well, look, even for cross country is lovely, because it's such a small knit group, and it's lovely. Track, then it brings something different, because it's all different events. But the 10K, European 10K, is lovely. Yeah, 25 laps of the track, it's tough. There's nowhere to hide, and it was very warm that day, and it was just about getting around and getting it done, and doing yourself justice. And that was another box ticked. Yeah, so that
It's
was it.
it's it's unreal. I love how you're able to, like, kind of don a different cap. You're
Yeah.
out on the track. You're in the tracks in France. You're up to the Oxters in Muck and Donegal in the cross country.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then you're brought then into the heart of County Tyrone to participate and pick up the gold medal in the Omaha Half Marathon in
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I think that year Marty McLaughlin was in my ear and he's like, oh, go on ahead, Anne-Marie, come on. And I'd done a session on the Saturday and I was like, right, I'll go on the Sunday and I'll run around it. And there was another girl and she was looking a certain time and I said, just sit in, but I will be taking off at about 10 mile. And if you can come with me, all that's great and we'll have a race. But if not, I will be turning the screw a bit. And she was already at her race pace and I was happy to help her as long as I could, but I was always going there for the win. So if it was going to come down to a race, I'm taking it on, like, so. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did that day. So the day before I had done a long session and then I suppose that was kind of like a steadier run. I think my coach said I wasn't allowed to go quicker than 6:30 that day, and I think I probably went 6:20, 6:18 miling or something, maybe.
Well, you
82
finished it.
minutes.
You finished it in 72 minutes and 41 seconds.
Oh, was that no? Was that
2022, wasn't
Oma?
it? Have I got
No.
that wrong? Have I?
Yeah. No, there's no way. That was 82. It was 82 minutes, I'd say, because I literally ran
Oh,
around
82.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
82.
I ran. I wish it was 72:41. The fastest I've gone on it is 74:20 something, and that was for the course record. And that day, I went out there to run to break the course record, and that's what I did. I left a little meat on the bone so I can go back someday and bring it down a bit. So.
Unfinished. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but that
just
day
when
was
you.
82 minutes because I remember helping a girl from in around Oma somewhere. And yeah, I just ran around. I think it was like 6:18 pace or something. So yeah, it's mad. There's a story behind every race, isn't there? Like when you're just looking at power of 10, it's just you just think. I suppose you don't know what you're reading. You're just reading
Well,
numbers, isn't it?
that's it. And these are the ones that I've picked out just because of my own natural curiosity and
Yeah,
probably naivety around it as well. And
yeah,
it hopefully makes for a refreshing, non-judgmental interview.
yes. Why
um,
not?
so was that the first time that you won the Omaha then, 22?
No, I won it that year. I ran 80 minutes. I've won it every year I've done it. So I ran 80 minutes that year, the first year. And then I won it when I ran 74:28, the course record. And then I came back and I think I ran it at least once just for the win, just to keep Marty McLaughlin happy.
Just to
And
shut him up.
yeah, just to shut him up. But hi Marty, if you're listening. But
He
yeah,
still
so
he still hasn't shut up, by the way.
yeah, he's a good lad.
Oh, he is surely, yeah.
Yeah, so really, I go to Oma because Trevor competes with them, and just to show my support if I can, So it's just not every year I can do it, but if I can, I will try and go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, here there was another big fish that you fried in 2023, the Dublin Marathon.
yeah. Took me a while to get that one now. Like
Mm,
I went in 2019, I was winning till a mile to go, bang. I didn't blow up, but Aoife Cook just pushed on and I just couldn't go. So I was like, okay, I had to stay the same pace and she ran on, beat me by, I don't know, 15 seconds or something after 26 mile, broke my heart. Um, then 2020 it wasn't on. And then it was 2021, it wasn't on as well. So we go 2022 and I was second again, except for this
hmm
was to Courtney. And Courtney ran out of her skin. She really did. She ran out of her skin, deserved the win. I tried everything to beat her and I just couldn't that day. And then in 2023, I was like, no, talk about manifesting. I wrote it down and I was like, Trev, I'm going there and I'm lifting that cup. In 2022, I looked at I went over to Jim Orkney, the director, and I says, Jim, I'm lifting that cup next year. That cup is coming to Strabane. I'm not coming back. I get third year in a row to get scalped with a mile to go. And he's like, I hope so, Anne-Marie.
Brilliant.
And I remember going that year and thinking, and when I say like doing runs, easy runs, seeing myself in the last mile because there's a guy on a bike with the lead lady, and I was with that bike 2 years running until I wasn't. So this year I could see myself with the guy in the bike, and I'm like, I will be with that guy in the bike until he veers off and I run up that mat. And that's exactly what happened. And And he even said to me, like, oh, it's great that I'm still here with you on the bike, Anne-Marie, because you know what happens when I leave you, it means you're being beaten. I'm like, yep. So it was lovely to have him all the way. And then in 2024, then I said, I'm a bit greedy, like, I just want to bring it home once more, just to defend it. There's something nice about defending, isn't it? So I'm happy now. So yeah, 2023, I took the win, thank God. And 2024, I defended it, which was lovely. Bit greedy, but
No,
I,
here
I got my
it's
beatings. I got my beatings for a few years, so I deserved.
well, absolutely. It's like going back for seconds at your favorite dessert, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm done, is there?
No, 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 absolutely not. Um, there's some amazing photographs. The photographs of you finishing the Dublin Marathon in both years,
Yes.
absolutely amazing. You can see just in them photographs,
Yeah,
how much it
because
meant.
I think what happens is, people like you're reading off it, or people will go in and look at my stats and be like, oh, like she could win it anyway. Oh, who's doing it? Ann-Marie McGlynn? She'll probably win it. But it's not as easy as that, because I could be at my fittest and anything can go wrong. You're out there for 2.5+ hours, and you could be going great till 20 mile, and something could cramp. You get a stitch, your stomach. Have to go to the toilet, and anything can happen, and you can lose it like that. And all that 14 weeks of training is gone out the window. So it builds. There's all this emotion builds up, especially for me. I wear my heart on my sleeve, like, and I will say, like, I'm coming for that cup, like, and I'll put myself on the line for failure, like, and for the risk of failure. But it's just the type of person I am. I have to say a goal. I have a goal at the end of the day, and I'm not afraid to say it, to an extent of, like, I could actually be putting myself, in the firing line. But I'm happy to do that sometimes when, like, you'll not see me posting too much on Instagram, my training and stuff. I'll keep that quiet, and I'll work away in the background, and I'll throw up the odd one to let people know I'm here and I'm training. But
Yeah,
I will be quietly doing my training, but I'm manifesting that, and then it builds and it builds and it builds, and then when that guy's still with me with a mile to go on the bike, it means I've got this. So for that last mile, I'm holding back tears, right? Because he's left me 2 years in a row, and I'm thinking I'm actually going to take it. And he's like, celebrate, enjoy it. I mean, not yet, not yet, not yet, because you're nearly too scared. And until I
aye,
see that mat, that's when then I just let go then, and I'll high five, and I'll jeer, and I'll shout, and I'll roar, and I'll cry, and I'll scream, and I'll laugh, and I'll do everything. But that there has been pent up in me for 26 mile and 14 weeks of training. So it's just that raw emotion that's very hard to hold back, because so much has gone into it, and I mean, by Trevor, my family, my coach, everybody, not just me. I'm the one that's bringing it home, like, but there's a lot behind me, you know, wishing me well and hoping that it actually clicks on the day. So that's why you see that emotion, and it's very hard to not, like, I just, because I wear my heart on my sleeve, like, I'm a crier, like, and I can't change that. Yeah, so
that's an amazing, amazing description, and a lovely insight into what was going on inside your head as you're,
yeah, yeah, a lot.
realizing that victory.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I guess we saw it very evidently whenever you claimed the All Ireland Championship at the cross country in Irvinstown. Again, there was
yeah.
your facial expression, your celebrations. It was it was
It's
all over
mad.
social media. It was unbelievable, but it was an amazing thing to witness. For us, what was it
Yeah.
like for you?
It's mad because, like, I would say 6 weeks. Trevor's always on the bike with me on a Saturday. Like, I do all my training myself, bar a Saturday in marathon training, and Trevor's on the bike with me. And he was saying to me, with like 6 weeks to go, say September, he's going, oh, I think you'll do cross country, pet. And I'm like, Trevor, please. I'm in the middle of like a 20-mile run here, and you're talking about cross country. I was like, Trevor, stop. No, but I think you have it in you, pet. I'm like, we'll see. So I get to Dublin, and my club letter Kenny, there's the top two clubs that stand on the podium, top two clubs go to a European club cross country in February, right? So in my head, I had got them to that for 2 years, and I couldn't go for just one day. One time I had a different race in Barcelona, and another time I had a niggle. So I got them there, like, it was the top scorer, and the girls followed, and we packed well, got them to European clubs. And I was like, God, I would love to go to the European clubs, because I know diary is open for it in February. So this could be the year that I could tick that box. So I said to my coach, after Dublin, I always take a week off of doing nothing. I go to Oma Pool with the kids and I see Marty McLaughlin and he's in my ear. How was that? That's my usual ritual of Dublin Marathon week afterwards. And I remember having the week off and I said to Trevor, on Monday morning, the following week, I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to see how my legs feel, but I'm going to see how emotionally and mentally drained I am, or if I've enough in me that I can put another 4 weeks together to go to the Nationals. So I come back from my run on the Monday and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make the call. So I messaged Letterkenny and I said, I'm going to enter for Nationals, get the girls fired up, like let's go and try and make Albufeira European clubs. And they were like, oh my God, brilliant, brilliant. Now, I was never intending to win. I wanted to go there and try and be in the top 5, 7 maybe, at a 7 and maybe top 5 on a good day. And that would maybe get us first or second club if the girls packed well, which great, and they did. They were brilliant. So that's why I went to Irvinstown, and because it was on our doorstep, really, 50 minutes away. So the week before it, Trevor said to me, let's go to Irvinstown and run around the course and get a feel for it. And I was like, oh, Trevor, I don't need to do that. He's like, yeah, let's do it. We'll go. And I met Fergus McGurr. You know Fergus?
Yeah.
Met Fergus and he was like delighted. Oh, brilliant, Ann-Marie. And I took him for a session because he was going to the Masters International the following week. So met Fergus and one of the girls from Letterkenny, I coached Claire. We all went up and we done a great session. They did a different session to me. I was just doing 200 metres up a hill. And Trevor looked at me at the end and he said, you're going to win Nationals. And I was like, Trevor, don't start now. Stop it. And he's like, I'm telling you, I've not seen you as strong and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, stop. So the next week was Nationals. And he was doing a course for his level 2 coaching. And he wasn't going to be there. And I rang my mum and dad and I just said, don't be coming up from Tullamore, County Offaly. Like, I'm literally going there for the club just to race. So I had no support. Usually I have my mum, my dad, my sister, Trevor. You know, I didn't. I had nobody. I literally went there with my club mates. And the gun went, and in the warm-up I felt crap. In doing my drills I felt a little bit better. And then when I put my spikes on, I was striding. I said to myself, I remember saying to myself, oh my God, my legs feel great. This could be my day. And then I was like, God, took my top off, got on the line, gone. And I just settled. I didn't go to the front. I was in about 30th, then I was in 18th, then I was in 13th, then I was in 10th, then I found myself up in 5th, and then I was at the front and I was like, shit. And this was about halfway to go. Then I was like, I could hear everyone breathing because they were all feeding the beast from early on. I didn't. And then I just literally ran away from them. And I was like, where are they? Why are they not coming? And that's why you got the whole, what? Like, how is this even? I can't get my head around how they let me run away from them, you know?
Yeah.
But I just had that. It was just my day, and the course suited me. My legs felt great, and it was just one of them things. Like I don't know. It wasn't planned. But Trevor, he's like, I knew it, but I was just like, I just didn't know. So yeah, and I think that's why you see those pictures of my hands in the air going, what the hell? Like, what just happened? Because I still can't believe it. That's the truth. And again, like I said at the start of the podcast, when you run a cross-country race, whether it be county, provincial or national, at any age, there's something about it. It just beats everything. It beats everything. Like, it's going to be up there with my top ever races, I think.
It really did put the icing on the cake, you know, after defending Dublin and then picking up that. It was just a wonderful end to a wonderful year, really.
And again, it wasn't on paper. It was never meant to happen. Even my coach was like, what just happened there, Ann-Marie? I was like, I don't know. I literally don't know. So yeah, and then went to Turkey. Now, like, I love wearing an Irish vest and I love to do it justice, but it was just, I was on borrowed time, let's say. I went and done my 14-week block, maybe 12-week block actually, because I was a bit of a niggle running into Dublin. Did Dublin, got Enniskillen, like I nailed that, but then my miles are dropping because I'm tapering, and I just knew, I knew in my head Turkey was going to be a race too many, but you can't not wear the Irish vest. So I had a battle with my mind that day. Like, I was sixth scorer at one point, and I said earlier in the podcast, like in 2014, you have to be top 4, and now they've changed it, top 3 are scorers. And I knew I wouldn't have been happy with myself if I wasn't at least fourth scorer. And I had to graft, be fourth scorer in Turkey. And again, that just doggedness in me and that toughness came out. And I did everything, and I left it all out there, albeit it wasn't my best race. But it was one of them races where I was like, I couldn't have give any more. And then I knew I needed to take a week off then again to come back down to now reset and go again. So now that's where I'm at. I'm like literally putting in the groundwork again for what comes next. So
it's interesting listening to you talk there just about when you're having an off day and you have to graft.
yeah,
Where does that sort of doggedness, that was your word that you
I
used
don't
there
know.
too, where does that come
I
from? Or
I
is there a
literally,
mindset or a
yeah, I
switch that you, or do
really,
you think I know that I can suffer, let's bring it on?
I can suffer. Like I can turn the screw, and I don't know. Maybe it's I've had kids. I don't know what it is, but I mean, if you've ever had kids, you'll know it's not easy, and you just go into that pain cave. I'm very good at, yeah, just like, oh, I don't know what it is. Like I just love it. I love it, but I I want to just give it 110%, like, and I will. And sometimes my 110% isn't what time wise won't be on paper what I would want, but I'll always give it that, and I'll always turn the screw, and I'll always push, 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 dig, dig, deep. And athletes I coach that mindset into them, you know.
Hmm.
And I suppose, like I said, I'm not pure talent, and that's where the doggedness comes in, because I haven't got I'm not this pure talented athlete. I have talent. I'm not stupid. Like haven't got an Irish vest on my back from just no talent.
Hmm.
I know I have a bit of talent, but I know a lot of it's the graft, and it's the putting the hard work in and putting the miles in and training smart, not stupid. And it allows me then on the day of a race to be able to turn that screw. Some people too often go into a race flogged, and as much as you want to turn the screw, it's not going to happen. It's like, no, it's not going to happen. Whereas I think when you train smart, you can do that in a race, because I'm never up in sixth gear in a race. I'm down in training, I'm in fourth, you
Hmm.
know. I'll go into the sport mode in a race up at like sixth gear in a sport mode in a race, because I only train at fourth gear,
Yeah.
if that's the way, an analogy, if that's the way you want to put it. I'm never on my hands and knees in training.
That's something that I'm learning from the more people that I speak with, and the more that I'm reading, is this notion that you train smart and race hard.
Yeah,
You'll see guys and ladies on Strava, and every race that they're doing, every training session, they're busting themselves, and there's
yeah,
really not much difference between those times in the 5K, the local 5K, or the park run, or
yeah,
whatever it is that they're doing. And do you think that those athletes, um, firstly, I'm not criticizing them in any way, but do you think that they be able to improve their times if they actually took their foot off the gas a wee bit more in the training? Is there
yeah.
something that
If
can
I think
improve that for them type of
a lot
people?
of a lot of athletes that I take on, I have to slow them down. Like I'm like, you are going too quick. Like your easy runs are not easy. So
Mm,
how the hell are you supposed to go into a session fresh and give me more? You know, you can get it out of somebody, but it 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 catches up on them. It finds them out, you know, whether it's injury or not getting the results in a race, you know. So I think a lot of times people chase kudos on Strava or on Garmin. Do you know what I mean? My Garmin
mm,
and my Strava is private, other than my coach. Trevor's not even on it. He doesn't want to be on it. I talked to him about my training in person. He doesn't need to see it.
mm-hmm,
I have nobody on my Strava or Garmin bar my coach, and that makes a huge difference. As in, nobody can see mine. I have my athletes on it, but they can't see what I do, because they don't need to know what I do. I'm not looking for, my God, Anne-Marie, you ran well today in training. I don't
mm,
need that. You know,
yeah.
my training is my training. I just do my numbers, and I think that's what's wrong is people chase kudos, and if too many people under Strava, it's nearly like their open diary for everybody to criticize or high five them. And really, a lot of the time, they're looking to see who gave them kudos, but why, you know?
Yeah.
Run easier and run to your times and see who gives you kudos, see who understands. You know what I mean? Because it's again, run smart, train within your zones, and the rest looks after itself. Like, people make it hard for themselves. That's what I would say. And a lot of athletes that I take on, they'll PB pretty quickly because I train them to be able to race quicker because they train smarter.
They're going into the race that wee bit more relaxed with no injuries, no niggles, and ready to fire it up.
Ready to
Ready to
turn the
find
screw.
fifth gear,
Ready
yeah.
to just give that extra gear. Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's not
That
rocket
leads me,
science,
yeah,
unfortunately. It's not.
it's straightforward stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Ann-Marie, your story and your journey and your achievements and accolades and medals and podiums and vests and everything else is absolutely amazing. It's very, very inspirational stuff. And you've already talked about your coaching, but there's a new venture on unfolding as we speak. Is it this week? This is
Yeah.
the
Today.
this
Today, my
today is
first clients were in. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
6th of January 2025. Saw you opening up your own Body Fit and Beyond
Yeah.
business.
So I already do online clients one to one. So I just wanted to bring them, as in, not a person that wants to do like, they might venture down the 5K route, but they're just Joe Soap. They've put on weight, they're in their 40s, they feel sluggish, they feel fatigued, they feel fat. They're like, I'm eating crap, I'm sleeping crap. They're the people I want to come in my door, and I want to turn up here around. And that's why I call it Body Fit and Beyond, because it's more than fitness. It's kind of, if you can get them fit and get them eating healthier, the rest looks after itself, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what I want. I wanted to be able to walk down the street and be like, hello, yeah. And she's like, yeah, and I'm helping that person. Because a lot of my clients are just, they're runners. They know what to do. You're just guiding them, and they're accountable to you. I now want them coming in my door and being accountable to me, but just that different type of person, you know. But like, obviously my online, it's huge, and they're still coming, and it's open to online. I'll not turn anybody away. I've had people from, I've got sub 4.5 minute hour marathons, and I've got 2:32 marathoner on the books at the minute. Like, that's where I'm at, and 5Ks and 10Ks and 10 milers and half marathons. But 6th of January today started my clients walking in the door. Yeah, so that was lovely. And I just, even, it makes me smile even thinking about it, because my clients today were all different, which is
Mm-hmm.
lovely. All different, all have their own wee struggles. And I just love it. I love it. And I'm excited because I love to see someone get, even the athletes I coach, I try and train them in a way that they could go away and start being confident, knowing what they're doing, rather than giving them the thing.
Yeah.
Tell them what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? And explain to them and why they're doing it. And because you can be handed a piece of paper or given an email, and it's just numbers, isn't it? And that's why, like, I'm always like, remember, it's effort. If it's blowing a gale, do not go looking for the number that's down because I've gave it to you. That's not set in stone. That's just a number that can move. If you're running into the wind, I don't want you looking for 6 minute miling because Ann-Marie said. If you run
Yeah.
6:10 and the effort is 6 minute miling, but the number is 6:10, box ticked. That's it.
Box ticked.
And I'm at the same in the gym now. I'm going to get them in a way that they can come to me once or twice a week, but they'll go out and do something themselves, maybe once or twice a week, 7 days in the week, remember. So, they need to be doing 3 or 4 times a week. But I want to get them in a way of, like, being able to walk into another gym confidently and not being like, oh, I don't know what to do, or going out on the road and walking. And I hope to God I'll see them out walking when I'm out running, and I'll be like, yep, and that's job done, isn't it? Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's
Uh,
what excites me about Body Fit and Beyond, because I just love, I want to give back as well. Like, obviously I'm charging, but it's, I feel like they're going to get bang for their buck, because what I do, it's more than fitness.
you're almost empowering people to an
Yes.
extent. You're
Yeah.
introducing them to a new way of living and
Yeah. Yeah.
a new future.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and maybe slowing up the sands of time to some degree.
Hopefully. Yeah.
There was a wee line that I wrote down here whenever we were speaking and you were talking about it. I didn't interrupt at the time because I think you were talking about Dublin Marathon, and I got caught up in your excitement as you
Yeah.
recounted that story. But I did take a wee note, and it was whenever you're racing and you lay it all on the line, you leave it all out there, and the three words that I wrote down here was the risk of failure.
Yeah.
Something that you run risking failure, and I think
I
that's
yeah.
what's really nice about people that have an opportunity to work with you is because you celebrate. There's a positivity, there's a learning, and there's an experience to be had within the failure that
Yeah.
makes the win all the more tasty. Is that right?
Yeah, and I think as well, like, and I'm probably a culprit for this as well. I don't celebrate my wins because I'm at the stage where, like, say for instance, Dublin Marathon, right? I celebrated that, but then in the back of my mind, National Cross is there, isn't it? So then once I say I'm doing the National Cross, in the next 3 weeks, Dublin's gone. That's yesterday's news. Now so you have to celebrate the wins as well. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to risk, like, by me saying I want to take home that cup next year to Jim Orkney, the director of Dublin Marathon. But I put myself out there for failure, didn't I? I thought there was a chance I wasn't going to. I went and done the media launch for Dublin 2024, and in my head I was like, God, am I risking here now? Tempting fate, because
Mm.
I didn't never said in the media I'm going there to win. My words were I'm going there to defend my title as the defending champion. Doesn't mean I'm going to win it, but I want to win it.
But
So I'll always, I suppose that's the risk if you're putting yourself out there, that you may fail. But I've had enough failures that not making the Olympics, it's never going to get harder than that. Is you know what I mean? Missing it by 10 seconds because I stopped for the toilet for 20,
yeah, but
right?
it's
So,
the idea that you have, even in your field of excellence with all your achievements, you know what it's like to fail. You know what it's like
yeah.
to
And
have
my kids play
setbacks, and
football.
that's
Yeah.
relatable. It's
Yeah.
relatable.
And my kids play football, and Alfie runs, and they know, and which is great, they know what it's like not to win, all the time. I know you read out all my my all my
Achievements.
yes, my achievements, and I wasn't winning everything.
Yeah.
There was time I wasn't. I was third, and I was fourth, and I was 62nd in Turkey. My wins, they know what it's like not to win. Trevor doesn't win all the time, and that's the problem. Kids nowadays want to win all the time. They have to learn you can't win all the time. But by me being beat sometimes, and by Trevor being beat sometimes, my kids, they know what it's like not to win, and they know, like, and I think that's why we're very open in that. We'll say it out there. We'll put our goal out there, and Trevor's very good at that as well. He's like, I'm going to the multi events, and I'm going to win. I'm going to run this, and this. And there's a chance he's not going to, but you have to say it out loud, don't you? Or at least write it down and believe it. Because if you don't believe it yourself, well, there's not much chance of it happening. I think in the
Yeah.
world we live in now, like, manifestation's huge, and I love 11:11. I love seeing angel numbers. I love that, and I have mantras that I will say, and nobody knows them, and I will say them in Dublin Marathon. I probably said it in Dublin Marathon 10 times. I said it at the national cross country. I say it, I'll be actually, if you watch, you'll probably see me saying it,
Mm-hmm.
mumbling it, and people probably think, what is she saying? But that's me. Just been like, come on now,
Yeah.
we angels on my shoulders, bring me home, and I think, I think, look, a lot of it's luck as well, and I've had a lot of luck on my side, and I've had a lot of bad luck on my side as well, but I've been able to turn it around. So I've got 2 healthy kids, Trevor, a lovely home, you know.
Brilliant. Yeah. No, it's always worth grounding ourselves too and being grateful for what we
Yeah,
have and the people around us. Because
yeah,
as you say, there's so much other aspects to our existence than the sport. The
yeah, and
sport
it's
is a
not going to
massive
be.
thing.
Yeah, and that sport will stop, at a point. Like, I'm going to be
Yeah.
45 in February, and my body will tell me when it'll start slowing down itself. People say, how long are you going to go? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know. Like, because if my body allows me to still run, and I will run. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's right. Don't be manifesting your retirement just yet.
oh, I'm
Visualize
definitely not.
a,
Yeah,
a, a-
I can't
another.
wait to. I can't wait to slow things down, as in not be as the elite end of it is hard. Definitely is. It's hard. The girls I compete against, they're all away to South Africa for 4 weeks now, and I'm running here in the snow. But
Aye.
I don't. I think I'm happy to wake up in my own bed and bring the Waynes to school, and so.
No, that's it. You're keeping it real, and there's a toughness to be had and to be celebrated in staying in the cold. I
Yeah, and
think
that's the toughness I have, the doggedness that I talk
the
about. So,
doggedness and that hunger, and um,
yeah.
just to finish up, then, Anne-Marie, looking forward, hopefully the business will continue to thrive and onwards and upwards with that. I'll pop a
Yes.
wee link in the description for your body fit and beyond,
Yeah.
and a wee link for your coaching as well. So I'm sure those things will be very successful. Um, Running wise, anything that you're willing or happy to share with us with regards to 2025? Are we going to see you return to Omaha? Or are we going to see you maybe around Dublin? Or are you going to be getting the
Yeah.
gutties, the
So
spikes
I
on?
think the first thing I'll be doing, the main thing in February is, I think it's the 2nd of February. I need to check that. Whatever that weekend is anyway. I think we fly out on the 31st, so probably is the 2nd. Or 31st of January, 2nd of February, yeah. So it's like I said, so at the National Senior Cross, we were second club. So first and second club go to the European clubs. Then they're in Albufeira in Portugal this year. Maybe that's why I
Lovely.
wanted to go. We sunny city holiday. But anyway, so that's what I'll be doing that weekend. That's the first thing. It's 6K, not ideal, but I don't care. I'm going to tick a box. I've missed it for 2 years. I'm ticking this box.
Yeah.
And then I will look towards the national 10K in Dunboyne, probably, yeah. And look, I would love one more senior vest, because I am going to be 45 in February. I'm not stupid. The young ones are coming through thick and fast, and it's lovely, and I applaud. I can't wait, because athletics in Ireland is huge now. It's making its mark, like sprints, jumps, throws, distance, everything. It's mad, like, and the girls they're going to start throwing out huge numbers, and they need to, because we need
Mm-hmm.
to start competing against the best in Great Britain, like, and we're far off it at the minute, like, and that's not even the rest of Europe. So them girls are going to come through, and I think Dunboyne 10K, and that's the national 10K, and then the European Road Running Championships are in April. So there is an open race, and it's a half marathon, and I have entered for that, but I would love to have the Irish vest on my back for that. But if I don't, I will be doing it
Mm-hmm.
regardless. But I'd love the wee vest on my back. So that's me up to April. And to be honest, like, I love setting goals, but I'll not be stupid enough to go too far ahead of myself, because we all know niggles and just life. So yeah, that's my immediate goals anyway. And Trevor is now doing Dublin Marathon this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's only room for one marathoner in the house, So, but yeah, I don't know. Look, after 2024, I did say that's me. Like, I am not chasing third in a row. Like, that's tough mentally. So I'm just gonna wait and see. I'll wait and see. Look, if I have a shot of or a smell, or just of the national marathon 2025, I'll go for it. If there's a sniff of it, I'll be there, like. So we'll see. I'll not say no, and I literally haven't looked that far ahead. For cross country next year, or this year. So literally that's me till April, and we'll go from there. I might do a couple of track races if my calves and Achilles allow it. And yeah, and then I will do an autumn marathon. I just don't know where. Maybe Dublin, but maybe Frankfurt or Berlin, or I don't
Some
know.
somewhere exotic.
Well, yeah, that'll come. I want to do all the world majors, but it's very dear, very expensive, and
It is.
I haven't done one yet. So
I would
yeah,
say there's a few. There's definitely a few of those in the Anne-Marie. Absolutely.
no, I'd
Uh,
love to do. I'd love to have that box ticked by 50, but I think that's a stretch now. I have 5 years to do it. I'm running out of time.
I actually love it how you're just kind of looking at the immediate future rather than getting too carried away and too far ahead of yourself. I think that's also sound advice.
Yeah, I'm not stupid enough to look too far ahead, because it's just, yourself, it's life, like, and a lot of things, anything can happen, and you just don't know what you don't even know if you'll be injury free. You know what I mean? I just need to
Yeah,
look at the next 3 or 4 months, tick those boxes, and come February, I'll be looking at June. Come June, yeah, I'll be looking at September. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So, yeah, so like in February, if you ask me in February what your goals are, I'll be able to tell you to probably July.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah. So it just, in the here and now, I go to April, and that's where I am.
I might actually take a wee note of that myself and try and keep myself from getting carried away, because I would think about things way down the line and then get
And
a wee bit
it's
overwhelmed.
exactly, and it eats into we only have so much space in our wee heads, like, and it's like,
That's right.
and again, it's like, celebrate the wins, but also enjoy the now, you know.
Yes,
And we're
absolutely.
too good at, like, thinking of too far ahead, and then this time flies away from us, and then it's like, shit, now I'm hanging by a tendon because my leg is gone, and I should have really celebrated, you know what I mean, and
uh,
enjoyed January, February, those sluggish months where you have to like slog and out in the crap weather, and you know.
um, how's Trevor coping then? Because Trevor was going to come on to this podcast. I was going to do my first ever Mr. and
Yeah.
Mrs. special,
How
but
hard would it have been though? I was like, Trev, that's going to be hard. And he's like,
he's
yeah, he's not. And
he's too busy. But
unfortunately,
how's he coping with the marathon training? Because I know he's a short distance explosive sort of a guy. So how's he faring out with the
I
longer
literally,
stuff?
he goes to me, him and his friend, like our Decky, his friend, has done it a few years, so he got in easy. So Trev put his ballot in anyway, and he's like, messaged me one day when they came out, and he was in work, and he's like, didn't get in. I was like, and he was really disappointed, and I was like, oh Jesus. And part of me was like going woohoo, and then part of me was like, oh no, Anne-Marie, come on now. Maybe he really wants to do it. Maybe it's a bucket list. So I was like, oh God, really? So I was like, you know what? I messaged Jim Orkney. I used one of my. Now I'm going to have to probably do so much. I messaged Jim, WhatsApped him. I was like, Jim, Trevor's looking, and he's disappointed. He's like, leave it with me. Send me on his email, Anne-Marie, and within a couple of days, Trevor's got his entry. I'm like, fuck. So I've used now. I've
Yeah,
gone and got him into Dublin Marathon because he didn't get into the ballot, and he's sitting there happy out. And
that's
look,
behind
if he
every
does
good
it, he
man.
does it. And Trev's one of these people, like, does what I say you shouldn't do, is look too far ahead. So, but he's very fit. Like, he had a broken bone in his foot from his last hurdle race, so he's back now, not completely running. Like, he's not doing miles really at all. It's all cross training, and he is fit from cross training. And that's another thing I would say is you don't always have to be running on the road. You can cross train. I cross train myself, and that's why I've got longevity as well, because I cross train. But Trevor's cross training at the minute, and he is very fit, and I think he will just
Mm-hmm.
tap into it now. We'll just slowly tap into it and just do it the smart way, But it's him listening to me, because he's wired different. Sprinters are wired different, you know. So it will be a tough one now, but I'm excited for him to try it. And look, I don't know where I wouldn't be putting money on him anyway. Put that.
I would say travel will could surprise us all.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, and I've done my bit. I got him the entry, and I'll help him, of course.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah,
no
we'll just
better woman.
see. Yeah, I need him to give me my drinks in Dublin, but look, I'll find somebody else. It's grand. But he's very good at keeping me very calm as well. So, for Trevor to go to Dublin, I'm going to lose my right hand man, because he's going to have to go to his pen, and I'm in the elite pen. I'm like, oh, and he keeps me so grounded, like so like relaxed, because like I'm only human at the end of the day, and
hmm.
you know. I know myself, it's 26 miles, and it's going to be hard to get around there in one piece and bring it home. So he keeps me right up till he has to leave the elite pen. He gets a VIP. He's well looked after from Dublin Marathon, and he gets a VIP thingy around his neck, and he can stay there till the bitter end, till we're on the start line. So if he does the marathon, I'm going to lose that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure, actually. The more I think about it, I'm going to have to talk him out of it. But Yeah, so he's fit, he's healthy, he's just sick. Like he's got that dose now, and it's like man flu. Look, it's the man flu, and he's
Hey,
dying.
yeah, man flu is a real thing now,
And
Anne-Marie.
I had it the week before
I'll have to
Christmas,
defend
and
him. I'll have
oh,
to
I don't
defend
know.
him. I have no doubt that Trevor is knocking on heaven's door as we speak.
Yeah,
Absolutely dying, I'm sure.
but it's something he'll not come on the podcast on his own. Unfortunately, he wouldn't. He doesn't. He wouldn't. He just couldn't. Whereas it would have been handier if he had come on with me. But maybe
Aye.
he'll come on with me another time, and I can be the wing woman, and he can talk, and he can bring me in for bits of advice and let him chat about himself.
You can hit him an odd kick under the table.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll come in as just we can bring me in and out and talk to him maybe, and it can be
Yeah.
still your first Mr. and Mrs. and then get Orla and Mark on.
Well, I've had Orla on. I describe myself as like a teenage boy getting shot down at a disco at a slow set. The amount of people that have said no to this podcast is
I mean, I
bringing back.
said yes straight away, didn't I?
Yeah, that's it.
And
That's it.
again, that's what I said to Trevor. You're local, and you're doing something good for people. And I try and help. I try and do that for the local. You know what I mean? People
Yeah.
probably think, oh, she'll say no, but like if I can do it, I'll do it. At the end of the day, that's
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'm very grateful that you did come on the podcast. I'm a great believer in if you don't ask, you'll never know. And sure.
Yes, and so am I.
Yeah. Ann-Marie, thank you so much for taking the time out. Because I know you're very busy with family and with work and with the training.
Yeah,
Look, all the very best. Continued success in your running career for however long that lasts.
yeah.
And keep well, train hard, and win
Train
big.
smart. You mean
Train
train smart?
smart.
What
Yes.
did you learn, Mickey? Train
Ah,
smart.
I know. I was doing so well there too.
Say it again. Yeah, come on. Have a
Train
good day and
smart.
train smart.
Train smart. Yes.
Yeah.
That could be my next tattoo.
Yes. Well,
All right.
yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Send me a picture.
I will do. Look
Right.
after
Thanks,
yourself,
Mickey.
Ann-Marie. Take
Okay.
care.
Bye. Bye. Bye.